Hello.
How are you? It's Kila. I'm part
Ah,
of the programming team. So nice to meet you.
nice to meet you.
This is
Thank
an
you so much.
interesting way of doing Q&A now, isn't it?
Online.
Oh, I've also gone really dark, so I don't know if I should wait.
Yeah.
Oh, should I wait? Okay, great. Let me just do a quick housekeeping. So if you have any questions, please go to slido.com and using the code that's on the screen. And yeah, so I will read out the question out of an iPad. Cool. I will. Great. Thank you so much for sharing this beautiful film, and thank you so much for even asking us to stay still. I think that's the most important part that I wanted to say because, sometimes cinema is also a place to relax, Like I'm really all for sleeping in cinema. Not that I slept through this film, but I wanted to thank you for that first and
My
foremost.
pleasure. My pleasure. Thank you so much. It's
Yeah.
good opportunity to me and
Yes,
my
exactly.
son.
Yes, exactly. I kind of just wanted to say something very simple and just when did you actually started recording your son? Because this was
Mm,
done in the
mm,
pandemic. Yes.
mm, mm.
Mm.
Because the pandemic, my son and I studied at home very long time. I watched him cut out the portrait of the Abbas Kiarostami, that the director, from my book and draw a face mask on that portrait. I think very interesting. During the pandemic, uh, uh, even my teaching was done online only. I promised my students in my course, that course name is a documentary production course, uh, that for every their assessment they did, I would do one at the same time, so that my students and I uh, have some interesting exchange or experience during the pandemic. Uh, so I use my mobile phone and to shoot and editing some my assessment. Finally, I finished my final project of that course. It's this short film. I think it's just like the family game between my son and I. We working together, discussing. During the shooting, we always pause and have some meeting. Sometimes I agree him. Sometimes he didn't agree me. It's a very interesting process happened in my home during the pandemic. And I think we too, just like a very close friends, just like in the film. So the production process gave us a very good chance, opportunity to develop a relationship between us. I'm lucky, and all family very lucky because the cinema, the filmmaking, give us a very beautiful and fortunate memories. Mm.
Yes, no, it's really nice. I think like we probably in the 10 years we'll see your son's film alongside your retrospective, hopefully. I guess because you kind of talked about cinema a little bit, I wanted to talk whether it was an intentional to reference the contemplative tone of what Kiarostami's films are about. Was that like something you were already thinking as you were filming, or
Mm,
was that something
mm,
you kind of decided as you were filming?
mm. Absolutely use the elements from the Abbas Kiarostami. It's only the something happened in our home. It's the real memory. When my son younger, I remember when he was 4 years old. One day, when I uh, bought a book about Abbas Kiarostami home, he cut the picture. It's real happened. When we shot and discussing this short film, we think we can put these elements in the story. So we acting and and develop these elements. My son never before make this film. He never watched Abbas any movies. After shooting, I give him watch one of his movies. The last one name is 15. 15. He liked very much. To me, I'm a fans of Abbas Kiarostami. But when I developed this short film, I didn't really think about his style and his approach. Maybe in his lots of movie, there are lots of kids characters. So this short film we made also a story about a boy. Maybe this elements is the same, similar.
Right. How much was your son involved in the editing of the film then?
He didn't involve the editing. I use my mobile phone editor. Sometime I will show his different cut, different versions. He will give me some comment and some suggestion. But to me, it's very interesting experience because not like use the computer. I must sit down in my studio to editing something. Just like use my pen to write something. Maybe when I get some idea, when I walking on the road, when I take the bus, I will use my mobile phone to change something and add something. And when I meet my son, maybe when I pick up his school at the gate out of his school, when we meet, I will show him the mobile phone. Do you think it's good or not good, bad? Sometimes he will say, not good. Maybe this too short can change just like this. Interesting.
Yeah, he's essentially is your exec producer.
He is sleeping, so I can said a lot of not good words to him. Actually, he is very exciting to draw or Q&A, but the Hong Kong time is very late to him. He go to bed before 2 hours ago. But he set up the background.
Lovely. We have the stage there. I love it. It's so great. I want to go and travel on that blanket. I kind of wanted to touch it because this was obviously made during the pandemic, and you know the situation in Hong Kong during the pandemic was a little bit vile, I would say, in some capacity. And so I wanted to, what I really like about the film is that, you know, it had this kind of understanding the heaviness of the pandemic, but it also captured this kind of lightness. And, you know, that came across from the innocence of a child. And I wanted to know your decision of kind of not putting, you know, kind of maintaining the lightness and your choices of just focusing on joy rather than, you know, obviously like sadness in many ways. Yeah.
Thank you.
I was kind of wondering if you had was that like an intentional decision where you just did not want to speak about what was happening in Hong Kong, like, or you just wanted to completely focused on just showing joy?
In Hong Kong, the situation is difficult. Not only pandemic, but also public and our future. A lot of friends of my they live Hong Kong. I have some job in university to teach filmmaking and documentary. I think I have some duty stay well, and I like working together with my students to shoot something about Hong Kong now happen and the history, and let us to think about and image the future. I think I still, and my students also, we still have hope and positive to do something and thinking something, and especially the kids, my kids and my friends, families, they also very positive and watch and assistant or kids grooming up here and let them to involve the learning how to become a citizen in the nowadays Hong Kong. I think it's difficult but meaningful to us.
Yes, no, I agree. And I just have one last question about your choice of using text at the end rather than a visual or a audio. And I kind of wanted to, maybe you can speak about that, like, because I'm assuming that's very intentional to choose to write a text of the poem rather than kind of, you know, sharing a visual of what we can read. So
you mean the ending, the dream, the ending, the dream. To me, documentary absolutely is a creativity experience, the explore, and not only recording something. He can explain the reality and the dreams, especially the kids. His life always happened something fantasy, and they always frightening to the different eras, where they only there know what happened and who is there, just like this. So we always discuss before shooting this scene how to do and how to play. So we to finally make a decision to make this dream, and we think it's where it's all favorable things in the film, and let us feel funny because he will become a ninja and playing the magical. He learned this magical trick from the online course. So we all sometimes I will push him to do something, but he think maybe it's not a right way to action. But I think I will let you like a very great and very fantasy ninja in the movie. How about you can do like this? So sometimes he will agree my idea, and because he can become a so nice ninja character, so we can working together smooth. It's just like the kids and the parents game. we planning. Yeah.
Yeah, lovely. Thank you so much for sharing with us. And unfortunately, that's the time we have. And again, thank you for joining us from Hong Kong. Hopefully,
Thank you
we'll
so
see you
much.
here next year.
Yeah. See
Take
you.
care.
Thank you.